All right, 3 minutes. Yes, 3 minutes is it. It is rather. Gone past at 7 a.m. this beautiful Friday morning. It is the 29th day in the month of November. And I tell you for a fact, this is the last edition of the EMR for the month of November, because by the time we come back here on Monday, of course it would have been December, and we would be saying to ourselves, Happy New Month. But in the meantime, thank God it's Friday. Yes, of course, I am super duper excited because the weekend is finally here, baby. Even though I did say yesterday that the weekend actually started yesterday, yeah. But officially, it is the weekend. Yes, I am really, really excited. And I know, I trust that you are excited as well, because the weekend actually comes with this very special energy, not the one that you're used to, during the weekdays. But the fact that you know that after work today, you get to rest, later in the day, tomorrow, Sunday, and then you kickstart, a new week on Monday, even though Monday is not, the beginning of a new week, but of course, the first working day of the week, right? And I know that the conversation around having enough days for the weekend, it is one that is ongoing. We really cannot even find a common ground in that regard. And honestly, if you ask me, the weekends, they are not just enough. Maybe Monday should also be part of the weekend. Honestly, I really don't know, but it should have been Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You understand? Then the first working day should have started on a Tuesday. All right, not even Monday. But anyways, it is what it is. It is what it is. Here we are, and we just have to deal with it, right? Just in case you're wondering where you are, or the dial you're listening to right now, I like to tell you for a fact, and also for free, that this is the number one dial right here in the city of Abuja, the nation's capital. Yes, Eagles FM 102.3, your radio experience you can always count on. Yes, take that to the bank. You gave us the bragging rights, because come on, how is it that we give you both, an audiovisual experience, one that is top notch? Yes, they say if they're not ginger, you ginger yourself. Hey, if they're not clap for you, clap for yourself. If they're not sing for you, sing for yourself. Okay. All right, and just to let you know that you can visit our website at www.eaglesfm.com. Download our app on iOS and Play Store. That way you get to listen to us even when you are not in the city of Abuja. Link with us on YouTube, on Facebook. As a matter of fact, we're streaming at the moment. You might want to, peep, or take a quick look at what our studio actually looks like, or who is actually behind the MIC this morning. So go right on to Facebook and YouTube right now at Eagles FM Abuja, because we are streaming this show live right now. We are also on Instagram. We're also on Twitter, now X, and also TikTok, all at Eagles FM Abuja. But please, when you head on to YouTube, do well to subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, and on Facebook, like and give us a follow, drop a comment, share our videos. It's very, very important. That way we know that you are a family member. All right, and of course, this is Eagles Morning Rise Breakfast Show, your early morning booster. And like I'd always say, if you want to have a productive day, it's good for you to start it on a positive note, right? There's no better way to start your day on a positive note, other than listening to this, breakfast show. We have a lot packed for your listening pleasure. At 6:45, of course, we heard the news, the latest happenings, and of course, this hour, I definitely say, and of course, we take a look at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. You also get to call in to share your thoughts, and then at the 8 o'clock hour, just because we've got something for everyone. There are people out there that would say they don't want to concern themselves with, politics, the economy and what have you, so they don't get depressed. No pun intended, but that just on a note. So we've got sports, all right. Eagles wing built for 8 a.m. this morning, and you can trust the sports minister, the sports bishop, the sport president, the sport. Okay, I'll leave it there. I'm talking about Vicky Vic. Yes, he'll be right here to bring you up to speed on the latest happenings in the world of sport and anything sports party you can think of. You also get to call in as well, dear listener. And of course, at the 9 o'clock hour, it will be time for Eagles Outlook, where we discuss, politics and current affairs. I definitely would make a at that time. And you know what? I will be made to understand that come 2025, the housing and the population and housing census will be conducted in 2025. We're not sure of the date. We don't know if it's going to be in the first quarter of next year, but one thing is sure, just as we'll be made to understand, that the National Population Commission, they've announced, and this is going to be happening nearly 2 decades after the last census in 2006, and this is despite recommendations in tandem with global best practices that population, and housing census should be conducted, every decade, right? Every 10 years. But here in Nigeria, the last one we had was 2006, and somehow it has actually affected, data in terms of, bringing up a report, a survey, and what have you. And then some, analysts will say that it's actually important for us to know our population. That way policies will be better brought to the fore in such a way that it will cater for the needs of every citizen of our dear country, Nigeria. My name is Omoefe Semere, and of course I will be riding solo this Friday morning. Yes, and I trust that you all slept and woke up well, right? And I hope you're also ready to start the day, because time waits for no one. Time now money. So if you're still in bed, let me ring the bell again. You better get off the bed, right? Get out and about. You need to make money legitimately. most importantly. All right, just yesterday, I'd like to intimate you on something that, is built for next month, December 5th to 9th, or 5th to 9th of December 2025, talking about next week, right? December 5th to 9th of December has been built for the FCT 2024 OBR and Maternal, Newborn and Child Week. So yesterday there was the media briefing where media, reporters or media personnel, they were encouraged and also enlightened on the need for them to sensitize the public with regards to, the MNCHW, that is the Maternal, Newborn and Child Health Week that will be coming up, on the 5th to 9th of December 2024. And just so you know that the Maternal, Newborn and Child Health Week is set aside to deliver a package of key maternal, neonatal and child mortality, and it is expected that there will be an integration of oral polio vaccine, one of the key interventions as a way of halting even further transmission of circulating vaccine derived polio virus in FCT and of course Nigeria in general. And what is very shocking is the fact that approximately 1 million under 5 children, they die annually before their 5th birthday due to malnutrition and vaccine preventable disease. Malnutrition prevalence amongst under 5 children in the FCT, like most Nigerian states, is indeed alarming, and the statistics are already there. Even though considerable achievements have been made through the Maternal, Newborn and Child Health Week to reduce the current indices, the stakeholders have actually stressed the need for more efforts to be put in place to ensure that all eligible children are covered with interventions that will improve their nutritional status. So this is a wake up to eligible mothers, and also children that are actually under 5, right? And even the fathers who are the head and leaders of the home. So you give your wives the freedom, the liberty to come all out with their children that are under 5 for the vaccination and what have you, because the services that will be rendered on 5th of next month through 9th of next month, they include oral polio vaccination for children 0 to 59 months, vitamin A supplementation for children 6 to 59 months. Children 12 to 59 months would also be dewormed. There will be growth monitoring and promotion. There will be food demonstration and nutrition screening of children 6 to 59 months, and family planning services, and a host of other things. Basically, so it's good for you to avail yourselves. I know that people have reservations when it comes to vaccination and what have you, but the only thing constant in life is change, and we've actually moved, past that era where people would tell you that, oh, I don't want my child to be immunized, I don't want my child to be vaccinated because there are some side effects that comes with this and that. You must also understand that there are partners, like the UNICEF, the World Health Organization, that actually, put hands together to make sure that these vaccines, are made available, and they are quite costly, right? So it's actually for the good and well-being of your child, all right? So it's important. Let's take note of this. I think this crusade is going to continue from now till, the maternal, newborn and child health week, comes to an end. But just to remind you that it is built for the 5th to 9th of December 2024. That being said, early morning crusade, continues, but I'm not going to dwell too much on it because of time. And the truth is, we're not going to stop talking about these things until we get it right. Just to bring to your notice as well that International Day today, actually, which is Friday, November 29, is the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people. 1977, the General Assembly called for the annual observance of 29th November as the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people. And on that day, in 1947, the Assembly adopted a resolution on the partition of Palestinian, Resolution 181 up to, and in Resolution 60/37 of 1st of December 2005, the Assembly requested the Committee on the Exercise of the Inalienable Rights of the Palestinian People, the Division for Palestinian Rights, as part of the observance of the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people on the 29th of November, continue to organize an annual exhibit on Palestinian rights or a cultural event in cooperation with the Permanent Observer Mission of Palestine to the UN. All right, today is Friday, so it's safe to say Jumat Mubarak to our Muslim brothers and sisters, the very best, of the day. Most importantly, do not forget to pray for our dear country, Nigeria. And this is also, a call to Christians as well, because it's not just a Muslim spot. Actually, calls for collective, effort. We all, when you wake up in the morning to pray to God to bless you, to bless your Azar with more money and what have you. I think it's also important to pray for our leaders as well. It is really, really, really important. So, the show is about to begin in earnest. If you're yet to join us on Facebook and YouTube, hurry now. Go on to Facebook and YouTube at Eagles FM Abuja, because we're streaming at the moment. Drop a comment, all right? Share the videos and also like. It is very, very important. Now, let me quickly bring you up to speed on 10 things you need to know for today. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Thursday urged the Senate to consider and confirm 4 nominees as members of the Police Service Commission, PSC. The nominees are Deputy Inspector General of Police, DIG Buba Ringim, retired. We have Honorable Justice Adamu Paul Galumje. We have Christine Ladi Dabop and Abdul Fattah Muhammad. Bad governance demonstrations from the 1st to 10th of August, killing at least 24 people in Borno, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Jigawa, and Niger State. Now, the country director, Isa Sanusi, made this known during the media briefing and presentation of its report. All right. The Senate on Thursday passed for second reading the 4 controversial tax reform bills transmitted to it by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, this followed the lead debate on the bills presented by Senate leader Okpeyemi Bamidele of the All Progressives Congress in Ekiti Central and debated by senators during plenary. The federal government has disclosed that it spent over 8.8 billion naira to repair and put into functional use 128 transmission towers that were vandalized across the country. Now, the managing director and the chief executive officer of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, It really calls for concern to see, or to even think and to hear, that the federal government had actually spent 8.8 billion naira to repair and put into functional use 128 transmission towers that were vandalized across the country. Now, this should be a way for us to lament that things are not working. But when these infrastructures have been put in place, it is only, it's only okay for us to protect, these, infrastructures. It's for our own good, because we want to enjoy the dividends of democracy, but that won't be possible when the infrastructures are not there. It won't be possible when we keep destroying, public property or infrastructure. Now take notes. If you see anyone around you vandalizing, public infrastructure, report the person to the appropriate authority so that the person will be dealt with. Moving on, the House of Representatives has approved Olufemi Oloyede as the Chief of Army Staff, and the confirmation came after a report was presented by Jimmy Benson, the chairman of the Committee on Defense. Moving on, the Naira appreciated to 1,740 Naira per dollar in the parallel market from 1,745 Naira per dollar on Wednesday. Likewise, the Naira appreciated to 1,644.86 Naira per dollar in the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market, NAFEM. Well, one way that this progress is a little insignificant, but of course there is progress, and that is what matters. Moving on now, the Federal Capital Territory Court will today hear the lawsuit brought by the Department of State Services, DSS, against the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP. Two senior lawyers, Tayo Oito SAN and Ebun Olu Adegboruwa SAN, will represent SERAP in court before Justice Yusuf Halilu at Court 13. We'd like you to know as well that the operational capacity of the newly rehabilitated Port Harcourt Refining Company came under intense scrutiny on Thursday, and this was following claims that petroleum products loaded from the facility on Tuesday were not newly refined, but products stored in the storage tank of the facility in the last 3 years. Okay, now that actually speaks volumes. All right, the federal government, through the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, has announced the approval of a license for the construction of a new refinery, and the approval given to a company named Process Design and Development Limited is to establish and construct a new 27,000 barrels per day refinery in Gombe State. Okay, and the last thing you need to know for today will be the fact that protesters on Thursday stormed the Lagos State House of Assembly to express their opposition to the imposition of a traditional ruler in the Ajah area of the state, and the protesters, comprising members of the Ajah community, argued that the ownership of Ajah was still pending in court, and that the Lagos State government should maintain status quo. And that, there you have it on 10 things you need to know for today, Friday, the 29th day in the month of November 2024. That being said, let's quickly take a look at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. I've got the Vanguard newspaper, I've got the Guardian, the Nation, the Daily Trust, and of course the Punch newspaper. Well, I will be starting with the Vanguard newspaper this morning, and it leads with tax reform bills offer 55% to states in new sharing formula. Again, tax reform bills offer 55% to states in new sharing formula. Now, this comes with a truckload of riders underneath that headline. The first one says target zero VAT, on export and essential commodities, reduce burden on small businesses, reduce company income tax tax from 30% to 25%. Senate passes bills for second reading to conduct public hearing, and then this one here says gives committee weeks, right, or 6 weeks to revert. We will do what is good for Nigeria and Nigerians. Akpab, you're talking there. Undume. Okay, the writing here is not too clear, but I'm trying to wrap my head around. It said Ndume Jacks as Bamidele, Musa, Dixon, Moro, Monguno support bills. All right, you find all of that this morning on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. And then manufacturing sector contributes 5.02 trillion naira to economy in 9 months. Details on page page 18, if I'm not mistaken. And when you head on to page 2 of the Vanguard newspaper, Polytechnic lecturers begin strike December 2nd. Bode George tackles Onanuga for insulting Obasanjo. Details on page 18. Tinubu to Macron, a starved nation won't care about weather and environment. All right, a starved nation won't care about weather and environment. Details on page 4 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And then this one, all right, I think I'll just say that this morning for the Vanguard newspaper, because really and truly the writings are not too clear, so I wouldn't want to misinform the public. But you can as well, grab a copy of the Vanguard newspaper this morning to get details of the headlines that I actually touched on. I'll quickly move on to the Guardian newspaper now, and it actually leads with World AIDS Day, rising spread, more HIV infected kids, slow race to zero scourge. You find that because that's the big story on pages 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper, and you have the breakdown right there where about 140,000 Nigerian children are currently infected by HIV, 22,000 new mother-to-child transmission of HIV yearly, and Nigeria contributes 25% of the global burden of HIV mother-to-child transmission. It also contributes 46% of new infections among kids in the West and Central Africa, and also 18% of global figure. Well, that's just a breakdown of what this big news story is all about, but you find it on pages 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Senate moves forward with tax reform bills as critics call for caution. You find that one on page 6. Still on page 6, shun migration. Federal government tells fresh foreign trained medical doctors. All right, shun migration. Federal government tells fresh foreign trained medical doctors. Details on page 6. And then on page 3, global wages outgrowing inflation, says ILO. All right. And on page 7, witness tells court how he collected $400,000 for Emefiele. Okay. Details on page 7. When you head on to page 30, Amnesty International accuses police of killing 24 protesters in Kano. Others. Emphasis on individual success weakens political action, says Oshibanjo. You find that one on page 9 of the Guardian newspaper. And then head on to page 7, electricity subsidies skewed against masses, minister affirms. I'll leave it there this morning for the Guardian newspaper. Grab a copy to get details of the reviewed headlines. The Nation newspaper is up next. And real quick, Tinubu offers French investors easy in, easy out opportunity. Macron pledges support and collaboration. Details on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Australia bars under 16 from using social media. All right, details on page 5. And Hajj Commission refunds 5.3 billion naira to states and also the FCT. Details on page 225 of the Nation newspaper. I don't know if that is a typo error, but do we have up to 225 pages? All right. But anyways, that's what we have there. And still on the front page, reform bills propose 55% VAT revenue for states. Proposal scales second reading at Senate. House of Reps continues consultations. Details on the front page, and it continues on page 5. You have highlights of the bill's contents right on the front page as well. I would like to touch on some of them. The first one says exemption for minimum wage earners, no tax for small businesses with a 50 million naira or less annual turnover. All right, and this one says no VAT on food items, medical services, pharmaceuticals, education fees, electricity tariff, and also slash of income tax from 30% to 25%, streamlining of collection. Again, find details of the story on the front page, and it continues on page 6. Population census likely next year, says NPC. Details on page 225. Tributes for ex-Senate President Wires. You find that one on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. And that's just about the size of the headlines I will be taking from the Nation newspaper. The Daily Trust newspaper leads with reps in rowdy session over tax reform bills. Proposals scale second reading in Senate. All of that on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Abductors of toddler siblings demand 300. Page 5. Tinubu pitches investments in food, security, solid minerals, others. Details on page 3. And then when you head on to page 11, Nigeria slumps in late FIFA ranking. Right, I'm sure Vicky Vic would definitely chew on that, at the 8 o'clock hour. Influential leaders move to resolve ACF crisis. I guess that's the Arewa Consultative Forum. All right, details of our story this morning on page 3. Police killed 24 during #End Bad Governance protest. Amnesty International talking there. Details on page 5. Marketers lift 251 million liters of petrol from Dangote Refinery in 10 weeks. You find that one on page 19. And then moving on to page 11, court sacks Benue APC caretaker committee. All of that this morning on the Daily Trust newspaper. The Punch newspaper is up next. It leads with minimum wage as the kicker. Labour states hold last-minute talks ahead Monday strike. A rider underneath it says NLC mobilizes for total shutdown. States hopeful of beating December 1st deadline. Details on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Port Harcourt Refinery. Controversy surrounds NNPCL claim on operation. Details on page 29. And then tax, that is the kicker. Northern senators regroup. Bill scales second reading. You find that one on page 2. Now pops up fake malaria drug. Detail. And then Tinubu seeks France collaboration on food security and education. Details on page 7. All right, you have, photographs right there that actually speaks to that particular headline. You see the president looking all cute, looking handsome as always. And of course, his beautiful wife, the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, and also Emmanuel Macron right there. I'll leave it there. And then moving on to page 5, money laundering. US-based Nigerian may get 20-year jail term. Details on page 5. On page 4, suspected herdsmen kill Ogun chief on farmland. Details on page 4 of the Punch newspaper. And when you head on to page 16, job creation, not part of my mandate. This statement is credited to the Labour Minister. Job creation, not part of my mandate. And that's it for the Punch newspaper this morning. I think I'll just leave it there this morning, right? For the headlines I will be taking across the national dailies. At this juncture, you can call in to share your 2 cents, like you always do, on these headlines. Making the rounds across the national dailies this morning. The numbers to call are 090-8766-8888 or 090-7353-0044. You can send a message or a voice note to the portal on 090-9705-4450. As always, please stay civil and avoid the use of vulgar or obscene language. Maintain 2 minutes or less so we can accommodate diverse views. And do not forget, most important, yes, good morning, Dr. Prince.
Mommy, good morning. Good morning. Happy
Daddy.
Weekend.
Good, thank you very much.
Extend my profile greetings to entire staff for this honorable and wonderful and comfortable radio station.
All right.
Ego FM and my king, known as God bless. Anyway.
All right. Are you calling from Old Karimo this morning?
Yes, Old Karimo now. I don't live at that place. Old Karimo.
All right. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Because extend my profile greeting to my comfortable and honorable word. And on.
All right.
Please extend my profile greeting to him.
Right.
What I'm just trying to say is a welcome development. If that refinery, Bracco refinery, can work so optimally, it's a welcome development because we in Nigeria were passing a lot of hurdles. and what can I say uncomfortability. Assuming that those 4 refineries we have in Nigeria, one in Delta State Warri, one at Kaduna, and the 2 in Rivers State. In fact, Nigeria is going to, is going to celebrate, is going to, be honored. It's, nobody whose own property or thing looks very, very honorable and comfortable like others will be crying foul. We are not begging the federal government to give us money, free money, or free food, or motor, or build houses for us, or marry for us. But we are begging, let it be a stability of the world economy. So let it be a comfortable of economy, so that Nigeria, who have lost our identity, our image, our glory, is going to be highly revitalized and also reinvigorated. So
all
that
right.
we are going to maintain our what? Our giant of Africa is going to be, the most populous black nation in the world. We are going to be giants in Africa, like Brazil, like United States America, in North America, in Brazil, in the South America, and many of us.
All right.
I'm begging.
Okay.
Good kudos to the Federal Republic and the Mr. President and the entire, staff of wonderful radio station.
Thank you very much.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much, Dr. Prince Ike from Old Karimo. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning. My name is Ayo.
Ayo from where?
I'm calling you from Suleja, Niger State.
All right, good to have you. Please go ahead.
Yes, I think one of the paper headlines you mentioned about a family that was kidnapped also.
Toddler and siblings, and now there is a 300 million naira ransom demand by the abductors.
If I tell federal government do something about issue of insecurity, all hands must be on deck. There are lots of things that government can do to reduce this rate of kidnapping. What is NCC doing there? What are the telecommunication doing? All these people can be tracked down. It's giving us a bad age when the world begins to hear that we are still fighting. People are still kidnapping, and nothing is being done to this. It's giving our country a bad. The world is looking at us as if we are not. The NCC, they can see these people can be tracked down. I think it's high time federal government look into this kidnapping. Let them put measures in place. Let all hands be on deck.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ayo. Very, very, apt. Yes, these people should be tracked down. It's that we don't have, sophisticated, gadgets, to really track and even trace, these abductors or kidnappers or even non-state actors, if you like. Anywho, if you're yet to join us on Facebook and YouTube, please hurry now to these platforms at Eagles FM Abuja. Drop a comment. Some of you have already complied. Thank you very much. We see your comment and we see you are watching. Thank you sincerely. The numbers to call are still 090-8766-8888 or 090-7353-0044. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, MAC.
Good morning to you.
My name is Abdul, calling from Suleja, Niger State.
Right, Abdul, good to have you. Yes.
This issue of kidnapping is getting too much. And you see, in some cases, when they pay ransom, they will seek the victims. So please, the federal government should do something about this kidnapping issue. You understand? I know the military are trying, but they should try more.
Okay.
So the issue of Kaduna refinery, Port Harcourt refinery, I understand that even the product they are saying, even old product that has been stored in the tank for many years. So are they deceiving themselves or they are deceiving we Nigerians? I cannot even just understand. If they are not producing, they should tell us they are not producing. Why are they saying that they are producing? Why buy the product they have is the old stock product stored in the tank? That's very bad, Omoefe. So, Omoefe,
right.
I will continue praying for Nigeria, just as you say.
Absolutely.
May God help Nigeria.
Yes.
May God help Eagle FM. Thank you very much.
Thank
Bye.
you very much, Abdul, for your line of thought right there. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Omoefe.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from?
My name is John from Suleja.
All right, John from Suleja. Please go ahead.
Please, there's something that bothers me under this democratic dispensation.
What's that?
concerning the National Assembly and the role they are playing so far. Look at this controversial tax value. I wonder the way the legislators are going about it is something that can be annoyed and disappointed. And they go to their constituencies and consult their people, enlighten them about all the gains and the benefits and the laws of the tax bill. They are just here in Abuja talking about how to pass it, talking about how to do away with the bills. While the people are confused, many people out there in the villages and in the other towns don't know what this means, what this tax bill is all about. They have constituency. They don't consult their people. Listen, this thing we are doing, this is the feed. This is the way to go. It is the way to reach, and it's going to benefit us for one way or the other. If there is anything disadvantage about it, they tell us. Then we will be better informed about this. Everything about this government is by force. You must take it, whether you like it or not. The National Assembly is right. Is it that they don't know their duties? Is it that they don't know the legislation, how to do it? Is it that they are not touched with their constituency? They don't want to conduct. They don't want to enlighten their people. They don't want to come and tell the president, my people don't need this, or my people need this. That is the way to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your line of thought. Indeed, with regards to this contentious, tax reform bills, we hope to have a very candid conversation on this. We're making efforts, deliberate effort, as a matter of fact, to get, tax experts, on here so we can get sense, of what this tax bills is actually all about, so we don't blow things out of proportion. But again, it appears a section of or concerns coming from some quarters just speaks to the fact that they are not in support of these bills or bill, as it were. But our fingers are crossed. Let's see how things would actually pan out. We're waiting patiently for the final outcome of this deliberation before we can have a candid conversation on this particular subject matter. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Omoife.
Good morning to you, GB.
My name is GB, calling from Life Camp.
All right.
Kidnapping of toddlers and the red demanding of 300 million naira. Well, kidnapping has become business in Nigeria. It's now a business, lucrative business for that matter. Since the advent of cashless policy, the armed robbers who go to people's house, demand money, give me your jewelry and give me this. They could not get anything again because everybody carry card. Before, on the expressway, Kaduna Expressway, the Lagos Expressway, Benin or all those ones, they will block the road and everybody will come down, empty your pocket. But if you do it now, they will not collect anything because everybody is cashless. Police are able to just carry your ATM card. Now they now resorted into kidnapping. That okay, you bring that money to us. And they have been able to fester because they work with intelligence. Those who they kidnap, but then the police investigate, there's a relative or a driver or a community person that know the movement that say, look, these people have money, let's kidnap them. And let me tell you something. The reason why we have been able to overcome is that there's no state and community policing. That's the only solution to it. People are saying that the NCC collect our number. Let me tell you, no kidnapper will use the personal number to call somebody. They will need the victim number. If you kidnap 5 people a day, 3 out of them are having phone. And they will use them to call them. And once they call, they switch off. And sometimes, even when the police or the security agency know their location, sometimes it's dangerous for collateral damage to go and attack them there because you may even lose those people that you want to rescue. You may lose them. Sometimes the police advise us, look, okay, go and pay the ransom. We have got enough information about them. The people can be released. Then later the police will go after them and destroy them.
Okay, so GB, what you are proposing now or suggesting is, the presence of state police. Is that it?
Yes, state and community policing.
Don't you think state police, would be used to maybe oppress, people in these, states by, these state governors? Because, the concerns are actually still brewing with regards to, state policing. I think the conversation is still ongoing. We're yet to reach a point of departure. Concerns have been raised over time with regards to
everything has positive and negative. As a woman there, you have knife in your kitchen. Are you afraid of buying knife so that it's not cut your children? Somebody needs to harm somebody. No. You buy knife because the advantage. The use is more than the advantage.
Disadvantage, all right.
We'll manage it. What I'm saying is that we need it to prevent all the banditry, kidnapping, and the rest going on. Because the people that are kidnapping, they feed these people, they give them food, they give them. Who are they running errands for them? It's the people. So you can get the committee on your side and pay them money. They will give information about those people.
All right.
People will kidnap 50 people and keep them for 3 months, 1 year. Who is feeding them? Who is clothing them? Who is giving medical attention? The community are supporting the kidnappers. Get them on your side. You can reduce it. You may not know you can reduce it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, GB, for calling. All right. Hello, good morning. Hello, are you there? Hello, good morning to you. All right, you might want to call back. All right, so we can hear from you what your thoughts are. But at this juncture, I'll just, put up to the voice calls and go pay this bill. I'll be back in a bit to take more calls and also take a look at, the voice notes and the messages that we have on the WhatsApp portal. This is Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. Do join us again.
Eagles 102.3.
Wow, this feature phone is so good.
Which phone is that?
It is the itel IT5627. It comes with a 2500 mAh battery, which gives you 55 hours of standby use. Type-C charger, triple SIM slot, 3.0-inch screen, plus a 24 months warranty of worry-free use.
Huh? 24 months warranty?
Yes! Go and get yours. itel IT5627. New itel, new experience.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
I suppose it was inevitable. Eagles 102.3.
All right, and we are back. Thank you so much for staying with us. This is The Pages, a segment of the Eagles Morning Rise Breakfast Show where we get to review or look at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers and also get your reaction or reactions, as it were, to these headlines. The numbers to call this morning to be part of the segment is 09087668888 or 09073530044. You can also send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal on 09097054450. And if you are just joining us, we'd like you to know that we're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at Eagles FM Abuja. Hurry now to these, platforms, to watch us live, right? You can drop a comment and also give us a follow on YouTube, like and also share the videos on YouTube. Do well to subscribe and also leave